Yeah, that community that keeps throwing shade your way. They think it's working, but nah, you're being watched, elevated, favored by forces they cannot even see. Oh, this isn't luck, it's precision, it's destiny, and it's pointing straight at you. Pause, breathe, feel that. Every word they whispered, every move they tried, only made your rise inevitable. You're untouchable, unstoppable, and yeah, the world is noticing, slowly, quietly, but it's noticing. Oh, you're about to see it all, the truth, the strategy, the relentless favor that even your haters cannot block. So, are you ready? Can you handle the truth? That the community attacking you is actually showing the world how highly favored you are. Comment, share, vibe with me below, because this isn't just a speech, it's a tribute to every fighter out there, surviving, rising, and claiming what's theirs. They throw stones at the ones who refuse to kneel, not realizing the stones are building their throne. Oh, yes, it's happening. Right now, you feel it. The cold stares, the whispers behind doors, the subtle sabotage. Every move you make, every choice, every breath is watched, measured, and challenged. They think they are powerful. They think they hold the strings. Haha, they don't. Not even close. What they fail to see is this simple, brutal truth. Their attacks are the confirmation of your elevation. They are not aiming at weakness. They are trying to pierce something untouchable. And yet, every swing they take only sharpens the edge of your resolve. Yeah, it feels strange, doesn't it? To realize that the venom, the envy, the relentless pressure, they are not obstacles but signals. Oh wow, signals that you are operating on a plane they cannot reach. They measure you with the tools of fear, but you operate with the power of unseen guidance. Each attempt to diminish you is only proof that favor is already upon you. You cannot fake it. You cannot conjure it. It is there, subtle, precise, and it cannot be erased by gossip, by rage, by the petty schemes of those too small to understand your path. Nah, don't rush it. Don't let impatience make you stumble. Watch them. Learn. Let their attacks teach you what they cannot comprehend. Every insult is a mirror, reflecting their limitations and your potential. Every betrayal is a map, showing the exact routes to your ascent. Every misstep they provoke is a test, one you are prepared to pass with a calmness that unnerves them, without them ever realizing why. Oh, listen carefully. The world may cheer the loudest voices, but it's the ones who endure the silence, who persist under pressure, who rise while the rest tremble, that are truly marked. They are attacking you because they sense something shifting. They feel it, even if they cannot name it. That sense of inevitability they dread is your signature. They want chaos. You deliver clarity. They thrive on fear. You thrive on precision. They scatter in panic, while you move like a shadow in motion, unseen, untouchable, unstoppable. Yes, mark this. Remember this. Their resistance is the loudest testimony of your favor. When the world tries to pull you down, when the murmurs grow louder, when the pressure crushes against your shoulders, you are standing in the exact place you were meant to be. The ones who throw stones, they are constructing the pillars that will hold your throne. The community that keeps attacking you, They are the architects of your inevitable revelation. And now, here's the point that cuts deeper than their lies. This favor is not decoration. It is not an ornament for vanity. It is a shield. It is proof that the universe does not move randomly, that there is precision, that there is alignment, and those who try to challenge it only fuel its fire. So, tell me, can you see it? Can you feel the shift in the air? The unseen favor, the invisible force that lifts you above their noise, their attacks, their envy, because it is there, waiting. And what comes next is not speculation, it is certain. Favor does not announce itself with fanfare. It hides in silence, visible only to the eyes that dare to see. Oh yeah, you felt the pull in section 1, didn't you? That subtle vibration in the air, the whisper of inevitability. Now it's time to recognize it, to see the patterns the world cannot fathom. They are everywhere. Those who attack, those who undermine, those who laugh at your patience. Yet it is their very opposition that maps out your path. Every glance of doubt, every sharp remark, every maneuver against you is a signal, a secret map that only you can read. Nah, it's not about revenge, not about proving them wrong. Oh wow, it's about perception, about understanding that their attacks are not walls, they are markers of favor. They indicate the exact moments where persistence matters most. They reveal who you are, what you are becoming, and the strength that refuses to be shaken. You are being measured, yes, but not by their standards, by a higher standard that they cannot see, cannot reach, cannot touch. Listen closely. Each attack is a test of endurance. Each doubt thrown in your path is a mirror reflecting your growth. Do you notice it? The subtle alignment of events, the way opportunities appear as if pulled by an invisible hand, the calm clarity you feel while chaos surrounds you. That is recognition in the shadows. You are visible, but only to those with vision beyond the ordinary. Yeah, it is intoxicating, isn't it? To realize that the noise, the fear, the envy, they are all confirmations. Each one shouts, "You are rising," whether we like it or not. And while the rest of the world celebrates the loudest, the favored moves quietly, methodically, calculating every step, every breath, every reaction, calm in the storm, focused while the community flails in confusion. Oh, here's the brutal truth. Those attacking you are already acknowledging the power they cannot grasp. They feel it and fear it. And in that fear, they unknowingly validate your position. Their attempts to sway you, to destabilize you, are the very forces that reveal your inevitability. They are like shadows around a flame. They cannot touch it. They cannot snuff it out. They only highlight its brilliance. So ask yourself this, quietly, amidst the chaos. Are you seeing the signs, the patterns, the alignment? Can you feel the momentum that is being built, not by luck, not by chance, but by the deliberate unfolding of favor that they cannot comprehend? It is there, oh yes, powerful, persistent, undeniable. Dominance is not claimed through chaos, it is forged in silence, in the precision of relentless persistence. Oh yes, now you feel it, don't you? That pull from inevitability, the subtle tremor in the air that Section 2 revealed. But inevitability alone is not enough. It whispers promise, yes, but it does not conquer, to rise above, to transform favor into something untouchable, requires more than waiting. It requires mastery of the storm. Yeah, the attacks, the scheming, the envy, they are your tools. Every jab, every criticism, every sideways glance is a chisel, sculpting a version of you they cannot imagine. Oh, wow, it is almost poetic. They think they are shaping you, but the truth is flipped. You are shaping yourself through them, carving resilience, patience, and vision into armor that cannot be pierced. Nah, do not mistake this for submission. This is not about patience and weakness. This is patience and power. Oh, yes, the calm is calculated. The quiet is deliberate. While the community claws and shouts, you move like a shadow, fluid, precise, untouchable. Each attack they launch accelerates your ascent. Each attempt to undermine you only validates the structure you are building beneath the surface. Listen, favor does not scream. Favor does not parade. It moves silently, almost invisibly, gathering momentum while chaos rages around it. And when you align yourself with that current, when you allow every challenge to temper your focus, you become unstoppable. You learn the art of rising, not with noise, not with fury, but with an unyielding, meticulous elevation that cannot be shaken. Oh, here's the twist. They are blind witnesses to your ascent. They see results they cannot explain. Opportunities appear where they expected collapse. Paths open where walls should have stood. And in their confusion you grow. In their fear you sharpen. In their envy you discover the depth of your own inevitability. Each moment of opposition is an unseen force, a ladder they unknowingly build for your rise. Yes, mark this carefully. Dominance is not declared, it is lived. It is the quiet recognition that every step, every breath, every choice aligns with a force they cannot touch. And while they panic, while they attempt to sway you, while they hope for failure, you move with clarity, with calm, with precision, growing stronger than they imagined possible. Oh, the question that now emerges is unavoidable, piercing, inevitable. You have risen above attack, above envy, above doubt. But how do you solidify this momentum into something unshakable, untouchable, eternal? They can try to bind you, but the hands that favor you are invisible, and nothing can break them. Oh, do you feel it now? That rising pulse in your chest? That quiet certainty that no attack, no betrayal, no whisper of doubt can reach you? Yeah, the world around you is chaotic, but you calm, focused. A presence untouchable in a storm of envy and fear. They push, they prod, they attempt to shake your foundation, but each effort only confirms what you already know. You are beyond their reach. Nah, this is not luck, not chance, not coincidence. It is precision, observation, discipline. Every trial, every insult, every attempt to corner you has been a measure of your endurance. And oh, wow, the beauty of it is that they cannot even see it. They think the noise they create matters. They think that attacks, when repeated, will destabilize you. But you are moving above it. You are untouchable. Yes, feel that weight shift. The community that tried to diminish you, that tried to define your limits, now only illuminates your strength. Each misstep they hoped for, each panic they induced, each smear they whispered, only reveals their own inability to comprehend. Their attacks, once threatening, now serve as markers of your elevation. They are the proof that your favor is a shield, a force they cannot see but cannot ignore. Oh? Listen closely. Untouchable is not arrogance. It is recognition. Recognition that you have endured more than most could imagine. That every push against you has been a test of resilience. That the paths opening before you, the doors aligning, the subtle shifts in circumstance, they are not random. They are your reality, crystallized by focus, integrity, and relentless patience. Yeah. The calm in your actions, the silence in your strategy, the clarity in your vision, these are the weapons they cannot touch. The attacks escalate because they sense the shift, the momentum that cannot be halted. And as their desperation grows, so does your certainty. Each moment of opposition now validates your untouchable state. They do not control it. They do not even understand it. They are shadows around a force that cannot be contained. Oh, mark this moment. Let it sink. Untouchable is not about escaping challenges. It is about becoming so aligned with your purpose, so deliberate in your every step, that challenges exist only to amplify your ascent. Their attacks, their envy, their noise. These are the echoes that highlight your clarity, your precision, your dominance over circumstances. And now, here is the question that pierces the final veil of doubt. You have risen above attack, above envy, above fear, above manipulation. But how do you transform this untouchable momentum into a legacy that cannot be reversed? A force that shapes the world itself. A crown is not taken by the loudest, it is claimed by the one who endures when all odds whisper failure. Oh, can you feel it? The weight of all that you've survived, the clarity of the path that has been carved for you, the quiet roar of inevitability building in every step you take. Yeah. This is the moment where recognition turns into mastery, where favor is no longer a whisper in the shadows. It becomes the force that shapes reality. Nah, don't mistake this for arrogance. This is strategy, precision, observation turned into action. Each attack you endured, each attempt to undermine you, each whisper of doubt from the community that once sought to limit you, has been transformed into momentum. You are no longer reactive. You are the current, the wave, the force that moves unseen but reshapes everything in its path. Oh wow, the truth is intoxicating. They will notice it too late. The doors that open for you, the paths that align effortlessly, the outcomes that once seemed impossible, all these are not accidents. They are the tangible proof that favor has chosen you, that resilience has elevated you, that untouchable focus has transformed challenge into victory. And the very attacks that tried to pull you down now serve as a gallery for your triumph. Yes. See it clearly. The community that opposed you is now the backdrop to your ascent. Every doubt they planted, every panic they tried to instill, every scheme they concocted, all of it only amplified your momentum. You have moved beyond mere survival. You have become the architect of your legacy, untouchable, undeniable, unstoppable. Oh, here's the razor-sharp truth. This is not about fleeting success. This is about permanence, about turning favor into force, about letting every action, every decision, every calculated movement echo through the corridors of influence, long after the noise of opposition has faded. You are not merely rising, you are redefining the battlefield itself. Yeah, the envy, the attacks, the doubts, they still exist. but they no longer matter. They are shadows dancing around a light they cannot extinguish. And that light, it is your clarity, your strategy, your focus. It is the culmination of every lesson, every trial, every moment of pressure transformed into precision. Oh, the final revelation is clear. The community that tried to attack you has done the impossible. They have shown you who you truly are. They have revealed the power of favor, the strength of endurance, the inevitability of destiny shaped by unwavering focus. You are untouchable, and now you are eternal in the mark you leave. Whoa, hold up. Did you feel that? Every word, every punch, every truth. Yeah, it was for you. Wow, the community tried to shake you, tried to doubt you, but nah, you're still standing, stronger, sharper, untouchable. Comment below. Tell me how this hit you, how it woke you up, how you're ready to rise even higher. Yeah, your story matters, your grind matters, your focus matters, and today we celebrate you, every single one of you watching. They all stopped staring at you, and at first, you thought that meant you were finally accepted. The whispers faded, the side glances disappeared. The tension in the room loosened. For a moment, it felt like relief. But then you realized something far more unsettling. They didn't stop staring because you fit in. They stopped staring because you no longer made sense to them. You weren't like them anymore. And that realization didn't feel warm. It felt isolating. It felt heavy. It felt like standing in a room full of people and realizing you were completely alone. They stopped staring the moment you stopped seeking their approval, even if you didn't realize that's what changed. For a long time, their attention fed you, not because it felt good, but because it felt familiar. Being watched meant being validated, even if that validation came wrapped in judgment, doubt, or quiet comparison. When eyes were on you, you knew where you stood. You knew your role. You knew how far you were allowed to go. But the day you stopped adjusting yourself to fit their expectations, something broke in that dynamic. You didn't announce it. You didn't confront anyone. You simply stopped performing. You stopped reacting the way they expected. You stopped explaining your choices in ways that made them comfortable. You stopped shrinking your ambition so it wouldn't stand out. And that's when the attention faded. Not because you became invisible, but because you became unreadable. People watch what they understand. They stare at what they can predict, judge, or compare themselves to. Once you stopped offering that access, their eyes had nowhere to land. You were no longer reflecting their beliefs, their limits, their excuses. And without that reflection, the connection dissolved. The chill comes when you realize how much of your life was shaped by being observed. How many decisions were filtered through, how will this look? Or what will they think? When the watching stopped, so did the noise in your head. The silence was unsettling at first. It felt like loss. But beneath it was something more powerful: relief. You didn't lose attention. You gained autonomy. Without their eyes on you, you moved differently. You took risks without seeking permission. You worked without announcing progress. You failed without humiliation. You succeeded without needing applause. And in that privacy, you started becoming sharper, more honest, more aligned with yourself. They stopped staring because you no longer belonged to the shared script. You weren't playing a role they recognized, and people don't invest attention in what challenges their sense of normal. This is the moment where many people panic and turn back, where they soften themselves just enough to be seen again. But you didn't. You stayed in the quiet. You let the distance grow. You chose direction over recognition. And that's when the shift became permanent. Because once you learn how to move without being watched, you stop needing to be seen at all. Growth makes people uncomfortable. That is the invisible line you crossed the moment you stopped being predictable. People like familiarity. They like patterns. They like the reassurance that nothing will change and everyone will stay in the roles they've grown used to. When you began evolving, mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, you disrupted that balance. You no longer fit into the stories they had written for you. And that discomfort doesn't manifest as curiosity or encouragement. It manifests as distance, avoidance, silence. They didn't cheer you on because they didn't know how. They couldn't relate because you had moved beyond their reference point. At first, you might have thought their withdrawal was neutral. Perhaps they were busy, distracted, or simply didn't notice. But over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. Invitations stop arriving. Conversations die mid-sentence. The subtle glances that used to carry judgment or fascination vanish entirely. The quiet is louder than any words could ever be. And the chill comes when you realize it's not indifference. They are scared of the reflection your growth forces them to confront. Growth is a mirror, and no one likes seeing the potential they refuse to reach for themselves. People watch you when it is safe, when they can measure themselves against you, when your limitations confirm their own comfort. But when you surpass that measure, when you begin moving toward your version of excellence, they stop looking. Their gaze retreats because it challenges their status quo. They no longer understand you, and humans naturally fear what they cannot predict or control. That fear becomes avoidance. That avoidance becomes distance. And that distance, chilling as it is a sign you are moving into territory they cannot follow. This silence, this space, is not a punishment. It is confirmation. Confirmation that you have begun separating yourself from mediocrity, from complacency, from stagnation. It's the first true recognition that your evolution cannot be contained within the comfort zones of others. They may resent it quietly. They may whisper behind your back. They may even try to pull you back into the old narrative. But their eyes no longer track you because they can no longer see a version of themselves in you. In this absence of attention, something else awakens. Your focus sharpens. Your commitment deepens. You stop performing for approval and begin performing for impact. You stop comparing yourself to those who remain stagnant and start measuring against your own potential. The energy you once spent managing perceptions, soothing egos, and maintaining appearances is now spent on growth, action, and mastery. And in that shift, you begin to understand a fundamental truth: silence is not rejection, it is liberation. When people stop staring, it's a signal. It is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of how far you have moved beyond the limitations of their understanding. The chill that comes with it is the realization that you are alone in a way that is necessary Because true growth cannot happen in crowds that insist on sameness. The discomfort of their distance is the price of progress and learning to thrive within. It is the first lesson in becoming unstoppable. They stopped trying to pull you back because they realized you couldn't be contained. At first, they tested you subtly, almost imperceptibly, to see if you'd conform again. A joke here, a suggestion there, a reminder of the old ways that used to keep you small. They expected you to flinch, to explain, to apologize for being different, for moving faster, thinking bigger, seeing clearer. But you didn't. You met their tests with calm indifference. You didn't argue. You didn't justify. You simply kept moving in the direction only you understood. And that is when the dynamic shifted irreversibly. The chill comes when you realize that most people only try to hold you back when they see themselves in you, or when they fear seeing themselves. They expect you to mirror their limitations, to validate their choices, to remain a safe reflection of their comfort. But when you stop reflecting and start creating, when you stop performing and start becoming, their influence loses power. They cannot reach you anymore, and the staring that once made you self-conscious is replaced by avoidance, indifference, or even silent resentment. That is the moment you fully comprehend the price of being different. You are now uncontainable, and the world around you may no longer understand where you belong. Being unlike them isolates you in ways that are uncomfortable at first. They stop inviting you to the familiar routines, the small talk, the predictable circles where nothing grows. They stop seeking your opinion because it challenges their assumptions. They stop giving subtle cues that once guided your behavior. And in the absence of these signals, you are forced to rely entirely on yourself. The chilling part is realizing how much of your past decisions were influenced by their expectations. How much of your energy was spent performing for the comfort of others rather than the pursuit of your own purpose. It is a stark confrontation with the truth that independence is costly, even if necessary. But there is power in this distance. Once you see that no one can pull you back unless you allow it, you begin to understand the true value of autonomy. You start making decisions based solely on your standards, not theirs. You start moving with intent, without the weight of approval guiding your steps. You discover that the isolation you feared is actually freedom, the freedom to evolve at your pace, to experiment, to fail, to rise, to redefine yourself without interference. Their silence, their withdrawal, becomes the fuel for your transformation. In this space, you learn a brutal truth: growth and conformity cannot coexist. To become extraordinary, you must embrace the discomfort of being unlike them. The chill that runs down your spine is not punishment. It is the recognition that you have entered a territory few are willing to explore, where independence, discipline, and clarity reign supreme. And in that territory, you discover that the very thing that isolates you, the difference, will eventually become the force that makes you unstoppable. The silence that follows when they stop staring is louder than any attention you ever received. At first, it feels like abandonment, like the world has turned its back on you. You might find yourself replaying conversations, wondering if you said something wrong, questioning if your choices were too bold, too fast, too different. But the truth is far simpler and darker. They didn't stop staring because you failed. They stopped staring because you no longer fit within the frame of their understanding. You became a variable they couldn't calculate, a presence they couldn't control, a life they couldn't measure. And that realization cuts deeper than any criticism ever could. This silence carries a unique clarity. When the noise of judgment, expectation, and comparison disappears, you're left alone with yourself. And in that solitude, the illusions dissolve. You see where you've been hiding, where you've compromised, and where you've conformed to make others comfortable. Every uncomfortable truth you've ignored, every self-deception you've clung to, becomes visible. It's unsettling because no one else is there to soften the edges or validate your choices. You're forced to confront your own reflection in its purest, rawest form. And for many, that confrontation sends chills down the spine, because it is the first time they've truly been honest with themselves. Pain and discomfort become teachers in this silence. They reveal which habits, relationships, and patterns have been holding you back. They expose where fear has dictated decisions and where complacency has disguised itself as safety. You realize that being unlike them doesn't just create distance, it magnifies every flaw, every insecurity, every weakness that you have yet to master. The chill comes when you see that these are not temporary obstacles. They are mirrors showing what must change if you want to continue evolving. The people who once guided your behavior are gone, and now all accountability lies with you alone. But in this darkness, there is also power. The quiet that frightens so many is fertile ground for growth. Without distraction, without validation, without interference, you begin to shape yourself with precision. You define your own rules. You build resilience on your own terms. You cultivate habits and mindsets that no one else could understand because they were forged in solitude, tested against nothing but your own resolve. In a way, their silence is a gift. They have unknowingly freed you from the prison of expectation and judgment. This is where true strength begins, not the kind recognized in applause, but the kind forged in isolation, the kind that thrives when no one is watching, when no one is measuring, when no one is waiting for you to falter. The chill that accompanies the silence is a constant reminder. You are alone, yes, but alone is where transformation becomes inevitable. And in embracing that solitude, you discover that being unlike them isn't a curse. It is the crucible in which you become unstoppable. Being unlike them comes with a price, and that price is often misunderstood. It is not measured in applause, attention, or social comfort. It is measured in distance, discomfort, and the quiet realization that most people will never truly understand the choices you make. When you diverge from the familiar path, the one that everyone else treads, you step into territory that is uncomfortable not only for them but also for yourself. Their eyes, once a source of validation or pressure, disappear. Their influence, subtle or overt, fades, and in that absence, you are forced to confront the weight of your independence. At first, that weight is frightening. Without the familiar framework of expectations, without the guiding light of approval, every decision becomes your own. Every failure, every misstep, every moment of hesitation rests solely on your shoulders. The chill comes when you recognize that There is no one to catch you, no one to soften the consequences, and no one to forgive you for trying and falling short. The comfort of being like them, of blending in, of being understood, is gone. What remains is raw autonomy, and it is terrifying in its purity. But terror is only the surface. Beneath it lies opportunity. When you no longer need to perform for anyone, you begin to see clearly what matters, what works, and what will carry you forward. You start making choices rooted in strategy, in discipline, in long-term vision rather than short-term acceptance. Every step you take becomes deliberate. Every action is measured against your own standards, not the fluctuating expectations of the crowd. That clarity, though born in isolation, is the foundation of true power. Being unlike them sharpens perception. You notice patterns others miss, risks others ignore, and opportunities others dismiss. You become attuned to the subtleties of life because you are no longer distracted by the noise of conformity. Your energy, once spent on explanation and justification, is now channeled entirely into creation and mastery. The chill comes when you realize how much potential was wasted, when you were trying to fit in, how much progress you delayed by seeking acceptance instead of excellence. And that recognition is both sobering and motivating. It fuels the resolve to never retreat back into the comfort of similarity. Isolation in this context is not loneliness. It is freedom. The quiet that once felt heavy now feels purposeful. It allows for experimentation, for growth, for the refinement of skills and character without interference. You learn to trust your instincts because they are untested against the opinions of others. You learn to carry your vision alone because dependence on the understanding of others is no longer an option. And in embracing this solitude, you begin to realize the truth. The cost of being unlike them is high, but the reward is immeasurable. You are no longer part of the herd, but you are far closer to becoming uns. Discipline becomes your closest ally when being unlike them isolates you. Without the constant observation of others, without the reinforcement of approval, without the familiar structures of conformity, there is nothing left to rely on but yourself. At first, that can feel terrifying. No one is watching to tell you you're doing it right. No one is waiting to reward your effort. The world doesn't care about your intentions. And in that silence, in that vacuum, discipline emerges, not as a choice, but as a necessity. Discipline is forged in the quiet moments when no one is paying attention. It is built in the hours you wake up before the world stirs, in the nights you stay grinding while others sleep, in the repetition of actions that feel small and meaningless until they compound into mastery. Unlike popularity or recognition, discipline is permanent. It doesn't fluctuate based on someone else's perception or envy. It is the invisible infrastructure of progress, and it becomes vital when everyone who once noticed you has stopped looking because you're no longer like them. The chill comes when you realize that discipline is lonely. It doesn't offer comfort. It doesn't provide applause. It doesn't soften failure or cushion mistakes. Every decision to show up, to act, to push forward rests entirely on your shoulders. And yet, paradoxically, this loneliness is empowering. It teaches self-reliance. It cultivates resilience. It reveals the raw truth. If you want results, you must produce them. If you want growth, you must create it. No one else will do it for you. Being disciplined in isolation also sharpens judgment. Without the distraction of comparison, without the influence of conformity, you learn to measure success by standards that matter to you, not by metrics that satisfy others. You begin to value consistency over applause, preparation over shortcuts, mastery over convenience. Every small act of discipline compounds, building momentum in ways that external validation never could. And the chill comes again when you understand just how much wasted energy you poured into performing for others rather than building for yourself. Discipline gives you control in a world that otherwise feels indifferent. While they stopped staring because you're unlike them, you no longer need their gaze. You no longer need their guidance. You no longer need their approval. Your actions, habits, and persistence become the measure of your life. And in that control, you discover a dangerous power, the power to define your own trajectory, to withstand resistance, to rise above the mediocrity that surrounds you. Eventually, results emerge. Quiet at first, subtle, almost invisible, but then undeniable. Others may notice or they may not. It no longer matters. What matters is that you have cultivated a force within yourself that cannot be ignored, the unshakable discipline that drives growth, shapes identity, and sustains progress even when the world looks away. And that is the ultimate freedom of being unlike them.